What is up, everybody? Welcome to Wednesday again. So I do have a tinfoil hat on today. If you didn't notice by the wonderful setting of the show this evening, for a couple more than one reason actually. Aluminum hats work is just as good. Um, so apparently, for those of you who missed last week's show and are not able to locate it currently undergoing a little bit of dispute with one said litigious band's record label, non-garbage, whatever, because apparently they don't like covers. But, that's the nicest way to put it. And the other reason we'll talk about in a minute. But that was Eddie and the Arsons. Adam's band, if you guys didn't know. Don't know who they are, go check them out. They're fantastic. Who's out there so far? See Sin's out there, James Capozzi, Big G's in the house, Batsky,
Big G.
That white guy's out there, Ronnie Rasmussen's in the house, JFM's out there, Jen Jarvis is in the house.
Do we have a promo?
Oh shit!
Let's do some mixing, motherfuckers.
I know, right?
I was thinking about it.
Oh, the Clown Puncher is in the house as well. Welcome to the Clown Puncher. And Church I see out there as well. There's a pile of sack out there. I don't know who that person is, but welcome. How's everybody doing this week? Other than the blatantly fucking obvious that's going on.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean, it's not like Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr are incredibly rich men.
Broke as a mofo. Both of them.
I mean, they would clearly be after the 30 or so cents that your channel can generate. And they could buy a piece of book.
You mean over the course of like the next 12 years?
So yeah.
I will be downloading the video and removing the beginning and ending of the audio there. That way you guys can at least catch the show. I'll probably do that sometime this weekend.
It sucks because that cover is so good.
It really is. However, we do have there's a Google Drive document for it, isn't there, Adam?
Yeah.
We can post links to that all day and fuck those guys.
Drop that shit right now.
They can all suck a dick.
Right? I'm pretty sure this folder's up to date. If not, I'll fix it. But
yeah. And the fucked up part of it is, it's not even them, it's just the record label. What's funny is, I'm in the second portion of it, because I sent out a thing that said, no, I disagree with it, blah, blah, blah. Filled in the blah, blah, blah bullshit. And, when they send you a response back, there's no reasoning why they disagree with it or anything like that. It's just, we disagree, so no.
Yeah.
I'm good. Huh. Where's my fucking due diligence in telling me what I fucking need? I'm like, if you guys really need a copy of the song, I'll gladly send you the file. Tell me where to send it.
So, I have actually watched several videos on this, on the legality of doing covers on YouTube. And the majority of folks are just going to monetize your video, claim like 90% of any revenue that ever comes off the video, and call it good enough. But every single band where they recognize the song as a cover, every single band has a right to do what the Beatles record company or whoever's owns whatever tenth of the song or
it's the publishing rights basically.
Yeah. They have a right to do that. They have a right to strike anybody that does a cover. In order to legally do covers and like react to songs and things like that, you actually have to go out and there's two different licenses you have to purchase from the company, and then you can legally do it. But the majority of people don't even bother. They just say, fuck it, I'll take my 10% or whatever the video is going to be and say good enough. But a lot of, it's also not a lot of musical acts or publishing companies that are just going to say, no, fuck you, and cut the video. They would rather take their 30 cents or however much it's going to be. So,
like I said earlier, there's a few out there who are
kind of the same, who are just like, no, fuck you, your video comes down now.
Yeah.
So just gotta stay away from those.
Yeah, and just it just so happens that the Beatles happen to be one of those crews. Probably the greatest rock band of all time, and they've got a huge legal team just waiting for anybody to do this. And YouTube was actually supposed to change this. I guess it hasn't taken effect yet. I was told that it had taken effect, but I guess it hasn't. Companies are not supposed to be able to go in and directly smack you with it. The only way a song is supposed to be recognized anymore is through the Google algorithm. And if a song, and that way it cuts down on incidental shit. Like, let's say you're shooting a vlog in a shopping mall and you happen to walk by a store that's playing music.
Yeah.
And so just because you happen to walk by that one place, all of a sudden there's a band that can take 90% of your revenue for 3 seconds of a song, or however long it takes for Google or Shazam. I think they actually own Shazam, don't they? I think they do. So it's however long either the Google algorithm or Shazam takes to recognize the song, which on some songs it takes it 15 seconds. Other times it's like a second if it's a really distinctive song. So Google was supposed to put that in place. And apparently they haven't. Because I don't know that I've played that song and Shazam didn't pick it up and the Google algorithm didn't pick it up. So.
No, and I know based on what they sent me from YouTube, it came directly from the label themselves. So,
yeah.
Like,
so yeah, they aren't supposed to be able to do that anymore.
Apparently they're really bored. Apparently some of them are watching my show. Way to go, guys. Pass it along to your colleagues, man. We need more people to advocate for us.
Yeah,
I'll stop playing your music, but you need to start advocating.
You want this shit to make you some money, don't you?
Yeah, I'm just saying. Make a lot of money off of advocacy right now.
So yeah, it's like you have the option to appeal again, right?
Yeah.
They gave you the option to appeal again. Basically, what's waiting for you at the end of that one is YouTube's going to tell you to take the show down.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm going to download it and cut out the middleman and then repost it up anyways, because, fuck.
Yeah. It was a good show.
Yeah.
We had fun on
There
that
was
one.
a lot of good stuff said on that.
There's
too,
a
like-
clip tool in YouTube that allows you to do it.
Yeah, I don't want them having any part of it, so I'm just going to download it to my computer and then upload it and then delete it, because then, fuck them.
Anyway, so if anybody's wondering, if anybody was ever wondered about if anybody had ever wondered about the legalities of doing covers and playing songs on YouTube, there you go. Now you know.
Yeah, don't do it. It's not worth your time.
Yeah.
After I got like 4 copyright strikes in a week from playing Adam's covers, I was like, what the fuck?
That was, I'm surprised, because I remember when you first started getting those, I was like, oh, I shouldn't be far behind. How many months has it been now?
Took him a while, and it took a Beatles song. It
Yeah.
took a Beatles song to get them. You're probably fine playing the rest of them. Anything that has been caught up to this point, it's probably fine.
Yeah.
Like there's probably a policy in place. Like at this, we reviewed this many people with this subscriber base. We've reviewed this many subscriber bases. So.
Who knows? Apparently, just one of them really likes one of the Beatles guys probably really fucking likes vaping. They were watching. Oh, I got to do my job here. Fuck. Didn't want to have to do that. Said he's probably sitting here in the background listening now. Go fucking advocate. Stop turning 600 substations in for some bullshit. But is what it is. It's gone. It's over with. It's done with. Moving on from that shit show Shenanigans.
Yeah. That's what I found at the end. It's better just to move on. Play songs you're not going to get hit for.
That's it.
And I mean, even a lot of the companies will just claim the revenue, even if the video doesn't make any revenue. It's if it ever does. So I wouldn't worry about it too awful much.
Yeah, that would have been perfectly fine with that. Sure, take whatever revenue. I'm not taking revenue off any of these fucking things anyway, so.
Yep. Exactly. You're making $0. I hope all of you. I hope all you pricks who did that to me before. Actually, it was just one company. Because I went back and reviewed it. It was all one company.
Jeez.
Yep.
Yeah, I really get bored.
Well, there's a thing now where you can buy percentages of songs. And yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
I'm curious as to why this is called tinfoil hats and I'm the one with a tinfoil hat.
I'm out of tinfoil.
I'm out of tinfoil too. I used the last of it when I cooked dinner tonight.
Trust me, I thought about it. I went in the kitchen and I looked. I was like, damn it. I was gonna wear one. I was gonna make like a flat brim too.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah, I know, right?
Tinfoil flat brim.
Well,
Yeah.
if you really want to know why I was calling it tinfoil hats tonight, because over the last 2 weeks now, that this crazy shit has been going on, and now what happened with fucking New York, this fucking ridiculous bunch of bullshit. I've also seen quite a few things that I'm running across, whether it be social media or news articles that I'm seeing where people have commented on. There is a lot of fucking tinfoil hat theories going on. Don't be that fucking guy. We know what happened. We just have to know what to do to fix it now. Don't go coming up with all these crazy ideas. Look, we know there are some things in place that are for sure. Master settlement agreement. We know vaping cuts into that. Period. That's a given. I've seen some pretty outlandish shit out there as well, though. So just don't be that guy. Focus on what's in front of us. Don't live with your tinfoil hat on. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some people do, and that's up to them. I get it. And it's like those flat earthers and those types of things. I just got an extra 100 viewers for this video just by saying flat earthers in this. Fantastic.
Welcome to the flat Earth discussion, everybody.
That's it. No, so, but I did kind of want to talk about the New York thing because it reminded me more of a dictatorship than any sort of democracy.
Mm-hmm.
Because they straight no fucking ifs, ands, or buts. Just we're gonna use executive power to stop everything. Now
That should never be the case.
No, it never. It should
That's not what executive orders were created for.
I think the only thing that bothered me more about it was seeing how many people stepped up and spoke, and then I saw the videos that M-Turk had posted where you see these cocksuckers. Well, these people are trying to debate with them, playing fucking video games on their phone, shooting text messages, not paying attention at all. I'm surprised none of the people that I saw in any of the videos told them to put their fucking phones down and pay attention. It's an important thing. If you're up there spilling your guts, they're not paying attention to you. You're just talking to a wall at that point. That's when you fucking bang on the table something. Hey, put your goddamn phones away. Pay attention. Live in the present. Not in kitty go fuckland play game, whatever it is you're playing.
Land go fuck, I want that game.
Jesus. Sorry about that.
What game are you playing?
Apparently he found kitty.
Somebody posted a video and it just auto played loud as shit.
Yeah. Hey, it just it bothers me to high hell because there's no fucking checker balance there. We're supposed to be filled with checker balances. Don't get me wrong. It's technically what he did is only for 90 days, but that's enough. That's to close every fucking within 90 days. That'll close every mom and pop's brick and mortar because they're not going to get the revenue from everything that they would normally sell. And I think they have 14 days to comply right now. Is that right? If I remember correctly.
There'll be an injunction. Just a heads up, everybody. There will be. in court. There will be an injunction. It'll be an emergency injunction. And there's someone, I guarantee there's a judge out there in New York that is just chomping the bit to
Yeah, to get
to let the
going.
governor know how he exceeded his powers with this executive order. I guarantee it.
Well, I sure hope so, for their
So-
sake.
I mean, it's the same thing. What Jersey's got their strike force, or what are they calling it? I forget what they're calling it.
Yeah, because there's
Investigative committee or some shit like that to go investigate what's going on. And you're going to see this shit all over the country. And like I don't see anybody complying. If I was a vape shop owner, I would not comply with this.
Cranky, you're right. It's going to cause a lot of knee-jerk reactions because one state's going to see it and say, "Oh, they did it. Well, we can do it too."
Yeah. Oh, I guarantee California's got something on the books. The only thing that's going to stop California is the other half of the state. Like there's the coast, and then there's everybody else. That's kind of how Washington is. It's the same way. It's like everything from the Cascades to the coast, like it's something completely different than the rest of the state. So it'll be interesting. I mean, there's gonna be lawsuits, like all these knee-jerk reactions, and we're gonna ban the flavors. We're gonna put these businesses out of business, and quite frankly, that's the reality of it. You're gonna see this is gonna get so litigious and so drawn out that's all we're gonna be talking about for the next year is where the lawsuits are and where they're sitting, instead of actually talking about the issues. And that's the fact that these governors, they think that they can pull the same shit that the president's doing. And the president doesn't have a right to do it. The president doesn't have a right to do it. He doesn't have a right to ban flavors. He doesn't have a right to put that many businesses out of business. The due diligence has not been done. Due diligence has not been done, and he can point at 6 deaths all he wants. We can point at probably 1,000 deaths by alcohol. We can point at 800 deaths by smoking every day. 6 people over the course of how many years? And it's not vaping that's doing it. It's people being fucking stupid that's doing it. There's a big difference between using a product as it's advertised and being a fucking idiot. So.
Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch. That's for sure. Just make sure you're staying diligent and advocating, speaking your piece when you can.
Yeah. And if you haven't made the calls and you haven't signed the petitions, what are you doing?
It doesn't take that long.
No, it does not.
The longest.
They're probably going to hang up on you.
More than likely, the longest part of that's going to take you is waiting for them to pick up. Because somebody posted numbers the other day. It said only 20,000 people have called into the White House in favor of stopping the ban so far.
That's a lie.
I was going to say it's got to be way more than that.
That's a lie. Well, I mean, they have hung up on me when I started talking about vaping. They did hang up on me. So,
yeah.
Do they not count the people that they hang up on?
Probably
that
not.
Would be the case.
Probably not.
Fidalgo, the second Inslee gets a whiff of something, I'm sure he'll do it. I'm sure he'll try. That guy cannot get out of office fast enough.
Vote him out?
We've tried a lot.
That's one thing. That's the other place we have to be diligent. We don't like what they're doing. When voting comes around, vote those cocksuckers out. Vote against them. Even if it is against your normal party, vote against them.
Well, I don't think I'm so against political parties and people claiming to be one or the other.
Well,
Listen to the people with good ideas. Like I'll vote across lines all day, every day if somebody's got a good idea.
The thing, when it comes to something like this, if you're going to be proactive in things like this, you have to become a single issue voter, especially for something like this. You might like what somebody else has to say, but if they're going to take away your right to vape, are you still going to vote for them?
I'm not.
If they say everything else right except for that one thing, is that enough to push you over the edge to vote for the other guy that says, I'm going to legalize it, make sure that it's taken care of and you don't have issues? Yeah.
This did way too much good for my life, you know, for me to just be like, I'll take it. I don't care about anybody else after me who, you know, let them all fucking smoke. No, fuck that. Fuck that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, be diligent. Don't wear the tinfoil hat if you don't have to. And don't get me wrong, I know some of y'all out there like that kind of thing. That's perfectly all right. Get in where you fit in. Just don't make that stuff public.
So
Stick with the facts.
I as much as I hate to admit it, I'm quickly becoming in favor of nationwide tobacco 21. Pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to agree with you on that one. However, at the same point, then I'm inclined to agree with nationwide 21. Fucking join the military.
Good doggo.
Shouldn't be like that.
Out of state business have to tax what we order. It depends on the company, Fidalgo. Some companies do and some companies don't. It's quite frankly up to the company and it's up to the state law of where they're shipping it in. I think they're supposed to. I think they're supposed to charge tax shipping it into Washington, but I've made orders recently where I was not charged any taxes. So it's all dependent on the company, whether they're going to do it or not. What's up, Chessie? I hope you're feeling better. I hope you get better.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. On the brighter things, because I don't want to be a Debbie Downer all day, because that's not what Wednesdays are for.
Let's Debbie down this shit.
Yeah, fuck that nonsense.
I mean, you Debbie downed all over my tinfoil hat that I just put so much effort into.
It looks fantastic on you. I think it just needs a little antenna coming off the side and you'd be perfect. Giving her idea. You want to get more aluminum foil. She'll be back, folks.
The best part about this is I have a whole bunch of it that I can spare now because I was trying to get a little bit for one of my stands. And the whole roll unraveled. So I've dubbed it Arts and Crafts Tinfoil.
Nice.
I knew hoarding this was going to be helpful one day.
So, I got a question for you guys that's something completely not vape related or anything.
Yes, the 49ers are 2-0. Can you believe it?
Fuck
Can you believe it?
Fuck football.
I wasn't even going to talk about football, but okay.
Can you believe it?
So, this popped up today. My son comes home, gets off the bus. He's got a scratch on his face. I asked him what happened. Apparently, some kid on the bus did it to him. Okay. I asked him, right in front of Mom, I asked this question. I said, did you punch him after he did that to you? No. You should have. Mom looked at me and said, he's going to get kicked off the bus. So fucking what? He's 4. Beat that little kid's ass, dude.
He just
Stand
walked
up for
up to
your...
him and scratched his face?
Apparently, I don't know the whole story, but I'm going. It is a 4-year-old telling the story, so I have to take this into consideration. I said, next time somebody does something like that to you and you didn't do anything to them, I said, if you did something to deserve it, it's your own damn fault. If they did it without doing it, fucking punch him, Mom. Don't tell him that. He's gonna go and hit kids now. Well, in self-defense, it's perfectly all right in my eyes. Does anybody have a problem with defending yourself when it comes to something like that? Or telling your kid to defend themselves? No.
I mean, at 4 years old, it's not like they can really hurt each other.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like, my mind runs through all the different scenarios. Like, he knocks him down, he hits his head on something.
My little nephew became a fucking professional at that fucking monkey bite thing. I almost backhanded him because he walked up to me one day while I was babysitting him. He was super young. and he just
Like, just
twisted my
pinching?
skin really
Oh.
fucking hard, and I almost backhanded him. I caught myself like mid swing. I was like,
I'm just saying. I gave the kid an out. Mom didn't like it, and so I was like, "All right, dude, don't punch anybody." Which for me, I don't like the idea of that because I'm all about defend yourself. Somebody's gonna bully you. The easiest way to stop a bully, fucking fight back.
Yeah.
Hurt that motherfucker.
They're not used to people fighting back.
That's why there's bullies, because people don't fight back, and we teach them. Just tell an adult, no, fuck that shit.
Yeah. For those that didn't know, all my life I've been a little bit small. A little bit small. Grew up to the wonderful height of 5'4", and yeah, I always got picked on for being short. And I think it was about middle school I finally started fighting back. Like one kid pushed me and I grabbed him by his neck and threw him into a locker, and I got suspended in school suspension for it. We actually both did, and we actually became friends because we were talking in ISS together, as boys do. In case you didn't know, if a couple dudes get in a fight, most of the time they'll have a beer afterwards and be kind of cool with each other from then on. But I was not a preemie, Gizzards do. Thank you very much. Full term as far as I'm aware. I've never been told anything different. But yeah, I mean, I kind of got a reputation as a dude you didn't want to mess with, because if you messed with me, there was a good chance I was going to grab something nearby and hit you with it. And that, like, in the middle of gym class, this one dude was pushing me around while we were playing floor hockey, and I had a hockey stick. So I cracked him in the back of the head with the hockey stick right in front of the gym teacher, and I didn't give a fuck. And that dude tried to fight me in the locker room, and I shoved him into the showers and bounced off the wall real hard. And people stop picking on you if you fight back.
Yep, and that's the thing. I'm trying to go. There's a fine line of telling him you beat the kid's ass. I don't want him to fight in school, but if he has to, do it. Although, my other thought behind this is, when we went to his orientation, he is one of the smallest kids in his class. He's a short little guy, fucking 30 pounds. He's tiny. Itty bitty skinny bastard. Don't know where he got it from, because it sure as fuck was not me. I'm going, look at him and go, and I keep thinking the whole time we're in there,
I'm just picturing Jarvis chasing the bully across the like with one, like not even a regular jump rope, like one of the double Dutch jump ropes with all the plastic on it.
yeah,
just
the little plastic
whipping him,
beads on it, just
yeah.
smack.
Oh, I'd pay to see that.
So I sat there and I thought about it the whole time we're sitting there during the orientation. I see all these kids that are bigger than him, and I'm going, kids that are bigger than other little kids at that age, they like to pick them up, do things like that. Because, oh, you're cute, you're small, I can do this. All right.
That's when you headbutt them.
My son does not like to be picked up, especially not by kids. The only time he wants to be picked up is if he's hurt or if he's tired and ready to pass out. That's it. And half the time he doesn't even want to be picked up then. So I'm thinking, these kids are going to pick on him because he's bigger, he's smaller. And as they get bigger, he's going to get a little bit bigger, but he's still tiny. He's a small guy. I'm going, he needs to learn to defend himself sooner rather than later. So I figured today when I heard that coming off the bus, I was like, oh, this is a perfect opportunity. Punch that kid right in the mouth next time. Mom did not like that idea.
Sign him up for karate.
people in school were always afraid to actually try to fight me, but a lot of them didn't know why. But a majority of them knew better until one person didn't realize why you don't fuck with me and tried to shove me one day as we were walking by the cars in the parking lot, and they thought they were cool, hot shit, so they tried to shove me and give me a nice little boot to the butt. I turned around, grabbed the chick by her hair, and smashed it into the fucking top of her car and was like, "Don't fucking touch me," and walked away. And I got a nice like 10-foot radius around me. I still got picked on, but nobody tried to fuck with me.
Yeah, see, and nothing was gone. I'll let the school call me. Fuck it. Please talk to me. What did that kid do that my son did that shit? Because my son is not a fighter. don't get me wrong, he likes to be like every other little boy. Pretend things are swords, pretend things are guns, because that's what little boys fucking do. He figured out that these plastic golf clubs we got him, he could unscrew the heads off of. So now they're fucking swords, or they're rocket launchers, or some shit like that. Which,
Yeah.
cool, dude, do your thing, man. Don't get me wrong, I don't want you swinging the shit around in the house, because if you break my TV, I'm gonna have to break your ass, and then I'm gonna get in trouble for that, and we can't have that nonsense.
Chessie, I don't think they're crazy. I don't necessarily think they're crazy. I think at the end of the day, some regulation will be. I don't think it'll be as reasonable as we hope, but I think it'll be that it'll be regulation that the vape industry can operate under. It's just the vape community, the vape industry as a whole is not going to look like what it looks like now. There's not going to be e-liquid companies everywhere popping up. There's not going to be, new mods every day to go look at, new atomizers to look at every day. It's not going to be like that at all. But I think at the end of the day, I think vaping's here to stay. Right now it's just an ugly campaign, and the science is getting out there more and more and more, because I keep seeing big media outlets, putting out stories quoting Public Health England, or discussing the differences between the policies over in Europe and the policies here, and why things are the way they are. And it's the way things are marketed. It's the way the government has marketed over in the UK that has made a big difference over there. Instead of fear mongering, they've embraced it and said, this is a very safe alternative, but this is for smokers. This is not for people who've never smoked. They've made that very clear. So, I think at the end of the day, I think we're gonna have decent regulation, but it's not gonna be the Wild West. Even today, it's still the Wild West, and it can't stay that way forever. It can't. Eventually something's gonna happen, and we're seeing it happen right now. Companies are going to consolidate, sell their recipes, do all this stuff to companies that can get through the PMTA, cash out while they can, get what they can, and it'll be a very different thing here in 5 years.
So if there was something you did like, you'll probably run around, you'll probably find it'll just be under a different brand name.
It'll probably still be called the same thing, because I'm pretty sure they have to call it the same thing.
I mean, a different company labeling.
Yeah, it'll be they'll all sell their recipes to Molecule Labs, and who's the other big ones? I think it's like Kendo Vapes is another big one.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of big distributors, and the big distributors are going to be the ones that wind up buying up all the recipes and putting them through PMTAs, because they have the money to do it, quite frankly, and the majority of the companies don't. So, like I said, we know Molecule got, I think, all of their SKUs through, all of them, every single one.
Does not surprise me.
They had the money. They had the money to do it.
Yep.
So there are going to be flavors. It may not be the flavors you like, but there are going to be flavors, and they're going to be available at vape shops. They're going to be available online with 9 layers of security behind it.
Well, even a grade school kid can still crack. I still think it might not be quite as wild. You'll still have a Wild West aspect to it, because people are still going to be able to go online and order shit from like fucking 3F where it comes from China, or other Chinese manufacturing sites, and they'll ship it discreetly because they know that the U.S. consumers will buy it.
Well, they call them gifts.
Yeah.
That way you're not actually buying anything, and that way it can get through customs.
So I'm sure there'll still be plenty of new stuff for everybody out there. It's just a matter of going around the system once it gets to that point. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Jarvis is talking about they're going after food flavoring components. They can't do that. You can't go after food flavorings, because they got nothing to do with it. Companies will lose their shit, the companies that use them. will lose their shit. But
Yep. Bakeries, fucking.
I still think E-Cig Express needs to change their fucking name.
Oh God, yeah.
Like, if there was ever a name in the industry that needed to get changed, E-Cig Express, you need to change your fucking name. I know you probably don't watch the show, but I'll say it on Friday if we do a show, and I'll say it on Saturday for sure again too. Change your fucking name.
Yeah, get E-Cig out of there.
Flavor City Express.
Yeah, flavored.
Fuck, call yourselves a flavor trade. Fuck it.
Just change your fucking name.
And it'll definitely be a different landscape, that's for sure. Just wondering how long it takes before all of that actually settles down into what we know it's going to end up being. It's going to take 5 years. Less than
I think 5 years is a reasonable guess. Like even if these flavor bans go into place, they're completely unenforceable. Again, they're completely unenforceable. So, like seriously, if I was a vape shop owner, I wouldn't comply at all, until you sent me a letter, and then I would consider it.
Yep.
But I would be like, I don't watch the news. Sorry.
Didn't know.
Didn't know.
Yeah, right.
You think I was supposed to take these down. Oh, my bad.
I thought it was that other stuff that I took down.
I thought that was the weed stuff that was getting people sick. That's what the news told me. Oh, I don't watch news. Sorry.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, it's a strange little corner of the world to be in right now. That's for sure. Granted, everybody had to have known it was coming eventually. It wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when. The Wild West didn't stay the Wild West forever. There wasn't always the OK Corral. We don't have that anymore unless you live in Chicago. No offense, Adam. But that stuff doesn't exist in our society. So anytime somebody sees something like this where it's grassroots and gets this big, it can't stay the same. It just doesn't.
Yeah, it can't stay the same way. It's going to get bought up, and it's going to get divided, and it's going to get feasted on by major corporations, which is what's going to happen. That's the American way. Cloudy Blows, there is no flavor ban in place currently. If you live in the state of Michigan, there will be shortly, and New York, there will be one shortly. And I believe, aren't they trying something in Illinois too?
I don't know about the state, but I know my mayor of Chicago has little itchings about it now, and she's been posting stuff on Twitter about that she wants to consider all the options, including a flavor ban citywide.
Yeah, Ohio's considering it. So currently where we stand, there is nothing in place. New York, I believe, as it stands, it'll be in the next 14 days, and I believe Michigan is 30 days.
Yeah.
I want to say. Most likely those are going to be held up in court. That's what tends to happen when something like this happens. The national flavor ban, the president has already backed off of it. We were supposed to, if something was going to happen, we were supposed to see something by today, and nothing happened today. So, yeah, I heard India had banned vaping products. But India had always been super huge against vaping anyway. So that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, Joel. It's when things like executive orders are supposed to be used for actual emergencies. That's the thing about all this. I don't know the answer to that question, Golfty.
You should.
I figured Lemmy would know the answer to that.
Just resend it.
Oh.
He's okay.
I
Cool, man.
I figured as much. Just wanted to make sure to keep myself out of trouble before I start giving things away. 'Cause, you know.
Oh, Michigan has changed theirs to 14 days because they don't want to get showed up. Oh, good times. So yeah, hers will get injunction. So will the one in New York, and it'll get tied up in court. And the legality of the presidents or the governors or the presidents or whoever does this, their executive order will get called into question in court. And yeah, I mean, it's 6 deaths across the U.S. 6 from people vaping marijuana, like marijuana street cartridges. That's what's causing this, and people are overreacting, and that's what due process is about. Like the FDA and the CDC haven't finished their investigations. They've said they followed it. Getting a text. That might be my roommate telling me.
Dinner's ready. That's your dinner
I have to go pick up my roommate after the show, so I gotta keep an eye on it. Anyway.
Well, if you gotta dip out early, go pick them up. Dip out early.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting.
Washington already has a tax. So I mean, it's possible they'll up the tax. By the way, sales tax is higher than 8.5%.
Jesus Christ, what is sales tax there?
10 points. I want to say it's either 1 or 2, 10.1 or 2.
Jesus fuck, that's double what we have. Christ.
We also don't have an income tax.
Oh.
10.25 in Chicago.
Do you have an income tax in Illinois?
Yep.
Well, you also have city and county tax there too, because you have Cook County and then the city themselves add their own.
Yeah, that's why you're hit.
That's why a pack of cigarettes
Cook County.
$14 in Chicago.
Yeah.
Can you do it?
Dude, are you still trying to show up through OBS?
Crossing my fingers.
I have no idea what he's doing.
I have no idea either.
OBS, but his OBS hasn't been working lately.
Just turn on your regular camera, homie.
That's what I try telling him every time he joins.
Fuck.
You know what, Greg? That is probably the best stated I've seen. That's the worldwide Me Too effect.
Well, I mean, it's every motherfucker that gets a chest cold that I happen to have a vape in the last 30 fucking days is getting in on this action because they think they'll be able to get into a lawsuit or something with it.
Just because they see one person is trying to sling a lawsuit at somebody, which they're going to lose miserably.
Yeah, because when you misuse a fucking product, that's not the company's fault.
Yep.
No, people misuse alcohol all the time.
Oh man, did I misuse that stuff?
Oh jeez.
I've been known to misuse it on.
It's a rare occasion that I do. Once every couple of years, though, I gotta reset the booze counter, I guess, and just get really smashed. But it's very rare these days. My body can't handle it.
Cranky Vapor, it's time to start DIYing, homie. Time to start DIYing. When you're spending that smooth $1.50 for a bottle of e-liquid, you'll feel glorious inside.
Yep.
Coils
last longer too.
Yep. There's a thing that popped up in my head when it comes to that.
Lumi Braid's been here forever.
They really need to do away with Nick salts. And to be honest, I really wish, look, for people who use them, awesome. People who've used them to get off of the stinkies, awesome. But do away with the fucking pod systems. Or small pod systems. Things that look like USBs, so kids can hide it. No. Make those cocksuckers this big. That way they can't hide that shit in school.
Like this thing.
Yeah.
It's giant.
That's quite the pod system.
I still
Yeah.
don't like that pod system.
Yeah, this part kind of makes it a little USB-like. The fact that this shield comes off, so yeah, I can see that.
And though I think the worst of it for me is the Nick Salts aspect of it. Look, I get it. It's perfect for the guys that are just coming off of cigarettes because it gets them that instant. It's not like where you're using a freebase nicotine where it's slow to introduce itself. Nick Salts are fucking pretty goddamn instantaneously, just like smoking is.
Yeah. I mean, Nick Salts are as close to smoking as we get. So
One moment. We need to blow Gizzard Stew's mind. All right. Close out of OBS completely. Then go over to Zoom and hit the arrow next to stop video and switch it to your default camera.
he says, "I don't wanna. I want all my special effects and loveliness."
Your OBS hasn't been working. Give it up.
Tough love from Lumi.
Lumi breaking it down for old Stu.
No, I'm not going to do that.
I'll
Sure.
fix your OBS after the show. Just there you go.
Oh.
What? Huh?
He was there, and then he was gone.
What's wrong with my OBS camera?
I'll fix it after the show. You'll be good.
Well, that won't do me any good.
It'll just mean you have to come on for another show very soon.
I'm determined.
You're not fixing it, Gizzard Stew.
I'll figure it out. Does just answer me this? Does OBS have to be on first or second?
As long as your camera is off and you open OBS, it should be fine. You have a problem with your virtual camera, which is why it's not working.
That isn't bad. I'd say I wasn't having a problem with my virtual camera. Do I open OBS first or Zoom?
So this is what happens when I turn on an OBS camera. That's exactly what you're getting, Gizzard Stew. It's a problem with
Right.
your virtual camera.
Yeah. So you're not running OBS either.
I could be in a split second.
So how are you doing it?
I turned my camera off, set this to OBS, open OBS. Everything should be working on OBS. If you see everything laid out on OBS, then you're okay. It's gonna flash. Here we go. Flashing, flashing. OBS!
Hmm.
Oh, hallelujah.
It's your virtual camera. I'll fix it for you. Later, turn on your main camera.
All right, that's enough. I'll try it one more time.
That's enough. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
Shush. You're making things worse.
You don't even have to leave the room, Gizzard Stew. I could do it all while I'm in.
Why did my camera zoom in?
Okay, OBS is up. The camera's set on the OBS camera. So now, bam! It's still great.
Damn, it's still a problem with your virtual camera.
Oh, I remember
said.
now. I remember now. You have to turn the virtual camera on. Oh,
Yes.
oh, I forgot about that part.
Mine's always on. You know, it doesn't automatically start virtual cam. You need to.
Oh,
I've never been so excited to have you on a show ever, dude.
oh.
Okay, the big reveal.
Hey! Judgy Giz.
It's working.
Judgy Giz. That's what you wanted your camera on for, so that you could disguise yourself?
Yeah.
You don't want to show people that you cut your hair and your beard?
There he is.
There he is.
Fucking suave.
Oh,
What's
that-
up?
Oh,
What's up, Giz?
Hi, Giz.
howdy, hey there, everybody.
He's alive.
We're
Man,
live. We're live, everybody.
I need to take a screenshot of this so I can show the missus. She's gonna miss your flowing locks.
Right? The Jesus locks are gone.
Probably way easier to wash your hair now, though.
Oh yeah. 5-minute showers are back.
Taking my shampoo.
Uh,
I
Yeah,
miss
and-
you guys. How are you?
good, Giz. How are you?
I'm happy to report I'm doing good.
All right.
Good.
I'm doing better.
That's what we've been hoping for.
It took a year.
Jesus.
Back again.
Now we just gotta reteach you how to do your OBS and your soundboard.
Well, I didn't even start that up.
I have enough problems right now as is. Is that what that is?
Thanks for reminding me.
And he's got to get his soundboard up. Excellent. Magical. And I saw what you said, Sin. I don't think any of us were trying to make light of what the actual Me Too movement was about. It's just kind of where it's gone since it started. Like I don't think any of us are making light of
No.
empowering people who've been put in situations like that. I don't think any of us were.
Not at all.
It's just like I said, it's gone places that people really didn't think it was going to go since its inception. So I think maybe more that's what the commentary was about. Anyway, let's get away from that one as far as we can. So Nick Salt's gizzard stew. Nick Salt's, what are you thinking? Yeah, it looks awesome.
What about Nick Salts?
Yeah.
What do I think about them?
Yeah, what do you think about Nick Salt's these days?
I think Nick Salts are probably fine, but not at 50 milligrams.
Fair enough.
They're kind of.
Should they be setting like a limit of like 12 milligrams or something like that?
I think it should be like it is in the
24.
UK. In the UK, it's 20. Can't have
Yeah.
nicotine at over 20.
Just 24 in these things, and it's pretty punchy.
Yeah.
I agree with
Well,
20.
50 and 60 is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's why you got kids vaping them, because they're getting wicked head rushes off of them.
Isn't that why I used to take mini thins?
That's why I started smoking, for head rushes.
I started smoking because it was cool, and then I realized it gave you a head rush, and I was like, well, that's kind of cool too. So
Back in 1976. Actually, I was just on a podcast today on Sirius FM. Greg Connolly was on there, and that was the point that I brought up.
My hero.
The point that I brought up was that most of us older smokers started when we were teenagers. We were all smoking illegally, because even back then you had to be 18 to buy cigarettes, and most people that I've talked to started anywhere from the age of 13 to 16, 17 years old, something like that. I started when I was 16. And so I was bringing up the point that, flavorings really have nothing to do with kids starting to use these, experimenting with tobacco products. If there was no such thing as vaping, they would still be experimenting with cigarettes.
Yeah.
And for them to just blame it that they're being enticed by flavorings, I think it's ridiculous. I think it's also ridiculous that they're going for banning on the premise, or they're trying to ban flavors on purely anecdotal evidence. I mean, they're just the ones that made this up, that flavorings are the reason that kids are vaping. And there's no science behind that.
Kids
Nope.
are vaping
That's
because
something
low
that they just totally made that up. So
I mean, I believe there is some science that says kids prefer flavors, but
science,
not a lot.
right?
Not a lot. Not actual science. Not actual. Take a bunch of like 13 to 18-year-olds in a lab and lay out vapes in front of them type science. No, but like CDC survey type science.
Right. Survey says.
Crafty little bastards.
A little douche.
So that is my point. That, I mean, you could argue anecdotally that my argument holds just as much water as that. That anecdotally, my theory is that kids are going to do what kids are going to do, and that they would be smoking if they weren't vaping,
I tend to agree with that.
just like we did. You know, they're just, you know, we know that they're throwing vaping under the bus for a lot of, probably they have ulterior motives for doing it. That,
Mostly financial.
Mostly financial reasons.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get parents wanting to do better for their kids than was done for them, but you can only take it so far, because kids are going to do what kids are going to do. They see adults doing things. They see mom slipping vodka into her pumpkin spice thermos or whatever, and you think they aren't going to notice. You think kids aren't smart enough to notice that dad's out back taking a smoke break. Like, you don't, like, it's completely unrealistic. It's a completely unrealistic standard that they're going off of, that these laws, like the Child Tobacco Protection Act or whatever it's called, it's a completely unrealistic standard that has been placed, and unfortunately Congress has to act when something comes up, and there's nothing that they can do about it, because the law says they have to act on it, and it says that they have to approve these things. If that law wasn't in place, you can bet that vaping would probably be looked at very differently.
Well, laws never stopped anybody from breaking the law. You know,
That's true.
we had laws back in the 70s that said you couldn't buy cigarettes till you were 18 years old. It never stopped us. We just went to the bowling alley and we bought them out of a vending machine.
Vending machine.
Yeah, vending machines in hotels.
Then they got rid of it.
Until I was like 17, the smoking age in Montana was 16.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of that depended on the state that you were in too. And
that didn't matter.
It was only a couple of years ago that they said you couldn't do cigarettes in vending machines. It's not like it was all that long ago that they finally said you couldn't do it anymore.
And that didn't matter either, because when
I'm lying, you still can do it in establishments where it's 21 and over. You can still have vending.
Yeah, that's true, because I do see them at the karaoke place in Indiana. They have a vending machine there.
Yeah.
Even that doesn't hold any water fresh, because when you were in Montana and the smoking age was 16, you had 14-year-olds that were smoking, I'm sure. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I had 14 and 15-year-old friends at the time that I gave a cigarette to if they asked for one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like I cared.
Right.
Well, as long as I was like, sure, give me a quarter. All right, I'm a quarter away to another pack.
You get $2 for one. You got ripped off.
Well, I mean, the cigarettes were like a buck.
Yeah, inflation has happened for sure.
This whole thing of them, coming out, these governors, and just going, I'm going to call out a state emergency so that I can do this. I think that's total BS.
Well, I mean, a state emergency for one death in your state.
Right.
Like that's where the legality of all these executive orders comes in.
And is that an epidemic?
And a thousand cases of people vaping marijuana cartridges and getting sick off of it. What is that? Actually, it's what, 3,000 now? Does that constitute an epidemic? It does not.
No.
Does not constitute an epidemic.
Oh.
But they call it that. They sure as shit call it that in the news.
Yep.
You gotta use those words yourself.
If anybody's wondering, mixed berry seltzer. This is the last one. Then I can move on to something better.
I'm sticking with the hard stuff tonight.
So I have the audio from the show that I was on, just queued up to the short blurb when I was on there, and I can try it. I'm going to try if everybody mutes their mic, and then I make sure I'm sharing my computer sound. Maybe you'll be able to hear this. We can try it. Let me try it.
Well, hopefully you can figure that one out. Yes.
Okay, ready? Here we go. You said earlier in the broadcast that you started as a teenager. So,
our efforts to make the public aware of the hazards of tobacco use overall, effective ways of quitting tobacco, some of the things that I've already spoken about.
Can you hear it okay?
And then also what parents can do to prevent tobacco use among children. So these kids are seeing it everywhere. It's in high schools everywhere. There's a lot of peer pressure, and we are doing a lot of discussion in terms of making sure that your children are aware and they know of the dangers of it.
Let me go back to the phone line. Stuart calling from Minnesota. Stuart, thanks for calling. What's on your mind?
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
I have a question for you guests, but before I ask my question, I have a brief statement. I'd like to say that you shouldn't be banning something that has helped over 3 million adult smokers quit based on anecdotal evidence. Jumping to the conclusion that kids are vaping due to flavorings is ridiculous and assumptive logic. I have my own anecdotal evidence that this is a fallacy. I'll present that to you now. I started smoking when I was 16 years old, and when I smoked for 34 years. I'm 58 years old. When I started, there were no flavored cigarettes available. Most adult smokers started as teenagers, and you said earlier in the broadcast that you started as a teenager. So,
well, I was 17, but I was also in college. But my reasons for smoking were, and again, I'm always very transparent about this. My reason for smoking was because my mother smoked, and she found it relaxing. I didn't smoke for the taste. I smoked because I found it relaxing. And to that point, most Black folks, anecdotally speaking, smoke Newports or Cools. I didn't like it. I was fancy. I smoked Alfred Dunhills, but that's another question.
I'm not even sure.
That's a British cigarette. Anyway, finish your point, Stuart. I'm running out of time, please.
Okay, would you concede to the point that at 17 you were still a teenager?
Absolutely, yeah, I was. Okay. But I think that the issue here is, I think that some teenagers, they may smoke for whatever reason, but it doesn't hurt that when you have something that is candy flavored, mm-hmm. that it's going to lure more people in. And I think that is the issue that the governor in New York made and other people are making. But please go ahead. I'll finish your point.
Yeah, to finish my point, kids will experiment regardless of flavors. That's my point. Then to get to my question, because I know I have limited time, I would like to ask of your opposition guests to disclose if any of their funding comes from pharmaceutical sources. The reason I ask this question is because the Truth Initiative, the campaign for tobacco-free kids, are, I know for a fact, are supported financially by donations from pharmaceutical companies. There's conflict of interest everywhere in this.
Okay, well, let me start with Dr. Williams, because she works for Howard University, so I know where your funding comes from. But Dr. Williams, briefly, please.
So no, personally, I do not have any funding from pharmaceutical.
And Dr. White, and particularly as it relates to MedStar and the Heart and Vascular Institute?
No, absolutely not.
But the American Heart Association is quite nicely supported by Pfizer and GSK, the makers of the nicotine gum, patch, lozenge, etc.
Well, and I think, and Stuart, thank you so much for your phone call. And I will say that this is an argument and a debate that will certainly continue beyond today, and we will not be able to solve it here. However, I do suspect that we will see continued movement on this issue, if not from the e-cigarette companies, as they may continue to push back, this groundswell of governmental action is going to continue. That is certainly clear until we hear more from the CDC and perhaps even beyond. But I want to thank all of you for coming in: Carla Williams, Dr. Carla Williams, Dr. Raquel Weich, and Greg Connolly. Again, I appreciate you coming in and talking to us.
Thank you.
That is the Daily Drum on Sirius XM channel 141 for this Wednesday, September 18th. I'm Harold Fisher. Now, stay tuned for The Connection. Good night.
How did it feel to get lied to your face by two doctors?
Well, I noticed how she said personally. Personally, no, I haven't received any money from pharmaceutical.
That would also be a lie.
I love how Greg Connolly snuck in. He was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, blah blah."
Well, I served up the volleyball. I was ready for him to go off.
And he did.
Anyway,
With a nice emphatic spike on it, but
The best.
this interview or this podcast is about 48 minutes long, and I was at the very tail end of it, but I will try and put a link out in chat to where you can go find it. It is a little bit tough to find because it's on Sirius XM radio. And
it's buried behind a paywall, guess.
Well, no, but you're still able to find it if you go to, I'll put this link down, and then once you get there, if you search for the Daily Drum with Harold Fisher, you'll be able to pull it up, and it runs from 6:26 p.m. to about 7 o'clock, basically. And so if you go in from that way, I was able to access it without signing up for SiriusXM. And so if people are interested in trying to listen to the whole thing, the first part of it was really good too, of course, because Greg Connolly's quite, a good speaker, well-spoken, and he's our champion. He's our voice in this community, and he's our paid lobbyist. So obviously it's a good thing that he's good at it because we pay him to do it. But I'll try and put that link up. It's basically just a link to a SiriusXM player, and then, like I said, you're gonna have to type.
The link for you.
You're gonna have to type in the Daily Drum.
He already did it. He has the Daily Drum. Hold up.
You have to physically type that in the search bar.
I think
to find it. You want? I wasn't able to produce like a direct link to where you can listen to it without the paywall. So there is a way around the paywall, but you got to be sneaky. So.
Swaggy Shane's link it leads directly to the paywall.
Right.
Yeah.
Once you're at the paywall, like I said, there's a search bar, and if you type in the Daily Drum up there, then you should be able to circumvent it. At least I was able to.
I don't have that option.
All right, let me put my link and see if it's different.
It started playing when I clicked on it.
I don't know why mine is just straight paywall then.
Were you able to find it, Kofti?
Yeah, I just clicked on the link that Swag put out there, and it popped right up.
I didn't want to derail the whole show on this, but if people want to check it out later, you can.
No, perfectly all right.
WP.org. Welcome home, the brave.
I got the plan. Yeah, you can totally circumvent.
Okay. Yeah, and then.
Yeah, you do have to go to the Daily Drum, and it'll say earlier today, channel 141, and it's playing right now.
Right, and then you do have to scroll like to about approximately 6:26 is when the e-cigarette talk starts.
Oh, show.
So anyway, that was exciting. to. I can't believe that I was able to get through on their call-in number. That was kind of cool.
And the last one to get in too, nonetheless.
Well, those news programs are not nearly as hard to get it through to as something like Ellis, like an entertainment show. So as long as you've got a valid point, most of the time the producers will let you through.
Right, and I will say too, when I did get through, they kind of grilled me. They're like, "So what do you want to talk about?" You know,
We need to get you on Oprah.
okra.
Oprah.
I
You
like
get a free vape pen. You get a free vape pen. You.
Everybody.
I like okra pickles. I like deep fried okra.
Oh yeah.
It's good.
Anyway.
To be quite honest, I'm surprised they let you speak as much as you did.
I know, I am too, right?
It's normally stuff like that.
Did you tell them that you were going to do that?
Yeah.
Then
Yeah. I told her, I go, I have a question for your guests, and I didn't tell her that I was going to go on.
They were going to make your statement.
That I was going to make my brief statement.
Oh, you got that poor intern fired, Gizzard Stew.
He wasn't supposed to do that. It derailed what we were trying to throw under the bus.
I'm sure that Greg Connolly was going like, yes.
He heard your voice and he's just like, I got this one. It's like, oh shit, it's the stew.
some of the previous ones were like, I don't know, this Joe Blow calling, not very articulate at all in their presentation of what they wanted to say. So hopefully I did a fairly good job.
I think you did an awesome job, Gizzard Stew.
Definitely.
You set it up. You set it up that they both lied to you, and Connolly pointed it out. If I was listening, I probably would have done the same thing that I did during this show when I unmuted and called them both liars.
Liars.
I don't know if they technically lied, because the one lady said, I personally have not received any funds.
I'm sure that lovely completely paid for by the American Heart Association conference in Cabo that she went to last year. I'm sure that had nothing to do with her opinions at all.
I'm sure if we dig deep enough, we could prove that they were fudging their. I just thought it was good because it was like an adversarial question that I was able to ask without being too adversarial.
Yeah.
By the way, are you paid off by Big Pharma to espouse this bullshit?
Yeah.
So you set that ball up on a tee for fucking Greg Connolly. Easy home run.
And he's like, don't worry, I got this, Stu.
What was really weird too is I haven't been very big on my Twitter account. Like, I've ignored it for the last years, but I think that Twitter is kind of the place to be recently.
Oh God.
And it is. It's just true. So I went over to my Twitter account today and I brushed the dust off of it, and I was starting to follow some people. Got to keep track of what POTUS is saying and all that kind of thing. And
he needs more followers.
As I was going through, I checked my feed from Greg Connolly, and that's how I found out that he was going to be on this program. And I found out about it maybe 10 minutes before it was going live, and then I went on there and I was listening to it, and they were giving out that number, and so I decided, what the hell, I'll call this and see if I can actually get on it. But it was kind of exciting for me.
Yeah.
That I was able to get through.
Oh,
Of course, I don't know how many people listen to this obscure broadcast on XM radio, but
It's also broadcast on local radio stations too, yes.
Yeah.
So.
And I think it was broadcast from Brown University or something. So isn't that DC area?
I think so.
Washington DC area, something like that.
Maybe you changed somebody's mind, Gizzards, too.
Maybe.
I'm getting all scared and shit over here. I'm trying to hurry up and go through my freaking Twitter and deleting everything.
I have to try. Let me see if I can find the chat. I don't even have the chat up.
Let's say you better not find me before I start deleting everything off of Twitter.
Well, I think it's VSO and Cranky going back and forth right now. What's up, Pup? He says Rhode Island. Brown's in Providence, JFM says.
I can pop out the chat here.
Gosh, there needs to be a multiple delete button immediately.
What?
Careful before somebody screen caps something and then you never get to host the Oscars. Oh, fuck. Holy shit. I just realized it's that time of the day.
It is that time.
I know you got things to do, and I've got sleep to get, and other people have all-night marathons to run. So, we're going to be running around the room, let everybody say their piece, and we're going to make like geese and get the fuck out of here. Who wants to go first?
I think the special guest should go first.
Oh, are we doing outros?
Yeah.
I'm Gizzard Stew, and you're not.
Oh, I miss you, Giz. I miss you.
All the people that are in here, go follow me on Twitter. And it's _SporkLife over there.
What? Somebody already had Spork Life taken?
Yes. Can you believe it?
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
So, and that's Spork Life with a Y. Just like this. Like this. Like this.
It's this way.
And what else do I want to say? I miss hanging out with all you guys, and hopefully I'll be able to do it more often. Oh, and then I have to pass it off, right?
Yep.
And Lumi.
I'm still trying to delete shit. Go away. Come back.
All right.
What are you deleting?
Everything.
I don't know.
Not sure where you're pointing, I guess.
Up here to Adam.
Me? Okay. I shall go, and I'll make it quick. Here's some links I'm going to drop out in chat. Those are the places you can find me and my things that I'm doing. Yeah, and join our little group. I'm going to keep doing songs, even if we're not going to play them on the damn show. I'm going to keep doing songs. If you guys want to keep picking songs, I still think it's fun. So if you guys want to keep doing it, I put a poll up, actually, just to gauge if people would still be interested if we didn't play the songs. But I think I'm just going to do it anyway. So here's the link to the group. Join the group, pick songs. I'm letting it run till later tonight, possibly tomorrow morning, and then we'll have a new song next week.
Did we have a new song tonight?
No, we had the Faded Beatles song last week.
I know that. I just
we had a nice long talk about the legalities of doing covers on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Did Golf Team find out the hard way?
Golf T found out about the Beatles bat to the head type maneuver.
The show was done pretty much.
Yeah, they don't like us.
There's like three bands. There's three bands you just don't do that to, and it's the Beatles, Metallica, and Prince.
AC/DC.
And apparently Guns N' Roses are a bunch of shits too.
Yep.
I mean, to be fair, last time I saw Axl, he could probably use the money.
Yeah, probably. That's it. That's all I want to say. Go Fresh.
Hi, everybody. I'm Fresh 03. I don't know if we're doing a Friday night show. I don't know if we have a guest. If we have a guest, we'll do one. If we don't, so be it. But Saturday for sure, we're doing some nice tasty mixing. Hopefully we've got the whole crew back together. We'll be ready to rock and roll. Probably continue the simple mixes for beginners. So if you're a beginner in DIY, swing on by. We'll be maybe. Oh, you know what we should do? We should do audience requests for simple recipes. Maybe we should do something like that.
Always fun.
Yeah, that is always a fun show to do. So I think that's what we'll do on Saturday. So tune in on Saturday, and we'll give you a recipe all your own. Nice and simple. Keep it under like 5 flavors. That way you can go start your DIY journey. If you haven't started, it's probably a good time to look into it. Just saying. Anyway, everybody be beautiful to each other. Educate, advocate, be good for this community. I've only got one person I can pass it to, and that's over to Lumi. Stop deleting Lumi and give these people some links. Tell them where they can buy donuts.
Well, so far you have the only finished donut.
Yeah.
Lumi is currently working on a different donut, though. Debating on what I'm going to do with this little masterpiece right here.
Delicious.
It looks delicious.
Yep. So, working on donuts now, guys. If you're interested, let me know. You can find pictures and all that fun stuff of doing all of the donut things here. Here we go. You guys ready? Ready?
Yeah.
Twitch, Lumi1992. You can find me here. If you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. I will be playing Veggie games and hanging out. Discord, pictures, stream informations, all that fun stuff. Go there. Instagram, pictures, updates, fun stuff. Go there. Email, that's if you don't do social media. Go there. If you need to message me, go to any of those places. You can find me. And then you can find me in the Casual Corner on Thursdays on I'm No Joe. Find me here Wednesdays. You can find me on Fresh's channel on Tuesdays and possibly Fridays. And this is where the Lumi be. What the Lumi do? Thanks for having me.
Thursday.
DJ.
Thursday. Yes. Don't
What
forget
did I
about
say?
Thursday.
I said I'm no joke.
I know. I was just excited that you mentioned it because now I'm not. It was in my mind to mention it, but now it's been mentioned. Something I enjoy. But anyhow, first and foremost, thank you everyone for coming out. We'll be back next week again for sure. If you guys want to get a hold of us, we are all readily available for you anytime you need us. You talk, you have questions, anything you want to discuss, feel free, reach out to any of us. We'll more than likely get back to you, myself included. If you message me in the middle of the night, don't expect a return until like 6:37 in the morning. But and that, I'm not going to go down a whole list of a lot of things that I have to say tonight other than love you all. Thank you all for coming out again. Even if this all goes away, we're still going to be right here on Wednesday nights no matter what happens. So do yourself a favor, do everyone else a favor, especially those that are still smoking. Educate, advocate, not for yourselves or for any of us here, but to keep it alive for those who have not made the switch yet. That includes fighting those flavor bans that are going into full effect all over the states with the knee-jerk reactions that we're seeing. Do yourself a favor, just keep advocating. Like I said before, it's not a do it now, it's not a I've done it in the past so I can stop now. We need to continually do it. The time for advocacy is all the time. Not in the future, not in the past, not in the present, all the time. Every one of those. So I don't have anything else to say. Being as Giz is here, I'm not going to send us out with a song because we haven't had this in a long time. Giz, would you do the honors of taking us off the air tonight?
Why, sure. As you go through the rest of your week, try and make your voice heard, if possible. And get off your butts and vape.
Bye.